Welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII tutorial video. I'm DeathyKnightS, and today we're going to talk about source farming. First, I'm going to talk about what source farming is, and then I'm going to show you two separate ways to source farm. But first, what is source farming? Well, you know those source items you find throughout the game that raise the stats of your characters? Source farming is a way to max out your character's stats by obtaining a bunch of these and using them on all of your characters. Source farming is important because it is the only way to get your characters past their normal max stats when they reach level 99. How important? Well, here is Cloud on level 99. And here is Cloud after source farming to max stats. Since 255 is the max any stat can reach, and Cloud only hits around 90 to 100 in each stat at level 99, source farming is a big deal and more than doubles the usefulness of your characters. There are 6 sources in total: Power, which raises strength; Guard, which raises vitality; Magic, which raises magic; Mind, which raises spirit; Speed, which raises dexterity; and Luck, which raises luck. As I said before, there are 2 different ways to source farm. One of them is very simple and effective, and the other is very complicated but potentially much faster. I recommend the simpler way, but I'll show you both methods. That way you can decide for yourself which method is better for you. The simple method involves morphing, and is probably the way that the programmers expected the player to go about farming sources. To morph an enemy, a player must equip the Morph Materia, found in the Temple of the Ancients on CD1 by dodging those giant donut rocks, and kill an enemy using the Morph command, which changes the enemy into an item. It is pretty hard to miss, but if you somehow missed the Morph Materia, you can still use Morph with the Master Command Materia, but you have to defeat Emerald Weapon and get the Master Materia from the Calm Traveler in order to do so. The problem with Morph is that it causes your characters to do minuscule damage, meaning that you'll have to first lower an enemy's hit points very low before attempting to morph it. In order to morph effectively, you need Yuffie's ultimate weapon, the Conformer. The Conformer allows Yuffie to do normal damage even when using the Morph command, and also does bonus damage based on the average level of the enemies she is fighting. Also, as a funny bonus, the Conformer doesn't do normal damage to allies, but instead hurts them a single HP, displays no damage numbers, and makes no attack sound. As I said before, the programmers of Final Fantasy VII probably expected the player to farm sources using Morph, because the Conformer is located in the exact area we need to go to farm sources, the sunken Gelnika ship. In order to find this ship, you must jump in the sub at Junon Harbor, cruise past where Emerald Weapon usually hangs out, and take a left through a small opening towards Costa del Sol. You can pick up the Conformer in the room to the right of the save point in the back left-hand corner. Once you obtain the Conformer, it is time to start morphing the enemies inside the Gelnika ship. There are 6 types of enemies, and they all morph into one of the 6 different source items. The research room will get you power, guard, and magic sources, the hallway will get you luck and speed sources, and the cargo room will get you power, guard, magic, and mind sources. The general idea is to weaken the enemies with your other characters, and then use Morph with Yuffie to finish them off, but there's a couple things you can do to speed up the process. The fastest way I have found to farm is to combine Sneak Attack with Morph, allowing Yuffie to morph the enemy as soon as the fight begins. Sneak Attack only has an 80% chance of working at mastered level, and Yuffie will need 2 attacks to kill most of the enemies on the ship, so it would be wise to equip her with as many Morph Sneak Attack combinations as you can. However, if you really want to push source farming to its limits, you'll want to find a way to have the game farm automatically for you. I've heard of putting rubber bands on your controller and using turbo controllers, but since I'm playing on the Steam PC version, I just used an auto keyboard program. I set the auto keyboard to have Cloud fidget like a maniac in the corner to start fights, while tapping the circle button to skip through the victory menu. You'll probably want to give somebody else in your party a counterattack materia, and maybe a Phoenix final attack combination just in case. By using this method, you can leave the game on overnight and rack up on all the sources you want. I, for one, like multitasking, so the fact that I can farm sources while doing other things makes this method my favorite. But I'll show you the second method anyways. Before I do, I should also mention that if you're watching this video for the sole purpose of getting power sources, there is a better spot to do it by the Gungaga reactor. The only enemies you'll fight there are heavy tanks, and they can be morphed into power sources very efficiently. The second method of source farming involves a different version of the W item glitch known as the Morph Glitch. If you have seen my Master Materia Quickly video, then you already know that the W item glitch involves choosing an item with W item, then choosing a second item, then hitting X and circle over and over to duplicate the first item. The problem with this is that you can only duplicate items that you can usually use in combat, and you can only use sources outside of battle. However, using the Morph Glitch allows you to multiply any item that can be morphed as long as there is more than one enemy in the fight. Here's how it works. First, you need a single seemingly useless item at the top of your inventory. Next, you need to make sure that the source you are duplicating is not in your inventory, so if you have any, make sure you use them up. Start a battle and have Yuffie morph the enemy with the source. As she is dealing the killing blow, have a different character with W item choose the item at the top of your inventory. Once the morph succeeds, the source will appear in the blank space you made. Now, choose a different item and do the W item glitch like normal by hitting X and circle over and over. Since the item that would normally be duplicated is gone, the source gets duplicated instead. This trick will work in the Gelnika ship very well for luck sources and speed sources, but because all of the other enemies in the ship only appear alone, you can't use this glitch. Instead, you'll have to venture to other areas. For power sources, you'll want to travel to Mount Nabel, right in front of the reactor, and fight Screamers. For guard sources, you'll want to travel to the dirt area by Mediel and fight Spirals. That's all fine and good, but the big problems start to arise when you want to duplicate magic or mind sources. Magic sources can only be duplicated from 8 eyes, which are only found in the monster arena. This is a problem for 2 reasons. Firstly, you only have a 1 in 4 chance of getting 8 eyes to appear in the arena. They only spawn on the 3rd round, and there's 3 other sets of enemies that may spawn instead. And secondly, you only have 1 character in the arena. In order to do the glitch, you'll need to set the ATB to active and equip, preferably Yuffie, with Morph, Counter, W item, and you can try putting the 8 eye to sleep with Sleep Hell, although I had no luck with it. Keep entering the battle arena until you finally get the 8 eyes to appear, and then wait for one to attack you. Set up the glitch, and when Yuffie counterattacks with Morph and kills one of the 8 eyes, start mashing X and circle to duplicate as many sources as you can before the second 8 eyes attacks you and gets killed. I was pretty slow here because I didn't want to screw it up, and my keyboard is also terrible, but you should be able to duplicate at least 80 or 90 sources each time you do this. However, that is nothing compared to trying to farm mind sources. I'm serious about this, guys. You have seen me master all of the materia from the Mastering Materia Quickly video. You've seen me test hundreds of materia combinations from my Materia Combinations video. I mean, hell, you've seen me play through Final Fantasy X with no sphere grid, no summons, and no overdrives. So believe me when I tell you that duplicating mind sources is a giant pain in the ass. First of all, you have to fight serpents. They are the only repeatable enemy in the entire game that can be morphed into mind sources. So run around the cargo room until you get one to appear, but wait, before you do that, make sure you have no mind sources in your inventory and a single item at the top of your inventory. Okay, now run around until you find a serpent. Wait! First, we need to give one of the characters a W item, one character final attack morph, and one character final attack full cure and quadra magic full cure. I'll explain later. Okay. Now run around and find wait! Before that, we have to make sure that Final Attack Full Cure is in the second set of materia and not the first, or else it'll go off before Final Attack Morph. Okay, now run around wait! Before that, we need the 2 characters with Final Attack to have little HP while the other character has full HP. Okay, now run around and find a serpent. No, a serpent. No, a serpent. No! A motherfucker! Oh, okay. There's one. Now, we need to attack the serpent, but only enough to get his HP between 50% and 80% of our total HP. So attack with a weak character, and then a weak item, whittling his HP down until he starts using Aqua Lung instead of Viper Breath. Now pray to the Final Fantasy gods that Aqua Lung kills both of your other characters at the same time. If that happens, and Yuffie kills the serpent with her Morph attack, and you have W item ready to pull off the glitch, you'll get ample time while your third character casts 4 full cures on the party to duplicate sources. But you know what? That'll never happen because Yuffie always dodges Aqualung because she hates you and will make you give up on source farming or making a video on source farming or having any impact on all of YouTube or the world. So, that's all you need to know about source farming. Feel free to take this knowledge and go watch my overflow glitch video, where I show how maxed out stats plus ultimate weapons can lead to breaking the game and killing Emerald Weapon in one hit. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please leave a like and comment on which video you'd like to see me do next.